An app is a software program running on any device. It can be an Android phone, an iOS phone, a Windows phone, Linux, any other computer device. So every company needs an app in order to improve its direct communication with clients and customers. So for this Digifluent Academy app development series, we are going to teach you how to build Android apps from scratch with your phone, and we teach you from the basics right up to the top. So we are going to teach you everything that you need in order to become a professional app developer. So to give you a taste of what we are going to be teaching you, we are going to design an app right now, a sample app. So we are going to make a simple calculator app that, of course, is going to be custom and will have a lot of features that many people are going to like it. So this is what we are going to use. We are going to use Sketchware. Sketchware is an application that permits you to create Android apps on your own phone. Just imagine, use an Android phone to create an Android app. It's kind of cool. So Sketchware actually is officially discontinued. So let me just show you what the app looks like. It's officially discontinued. What I mean by discontinued is that when you go to Play Store, when you come to the Play Store and try searching for Sketchware, you'll not see it. It's not there. These are just apps that you can use alongside the app, but the Sketchware official app is no more there on Play Store. So the Sketchware company officially removed their app from the Play Store and said that they are going to do some few upgrades to the app before they will publish it back again. So they said they are going to republish it again around 2022, sorry. So it's not there on Play Store again. But you can have it from other sources, like from other websites, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But before we do that, let me make something clear. Sketchware is a bit limited, so it's an open source software, right, where any person can take the source code, modify it, and republish. So some group of developers took the source code of Sketchware, modified the source code, and republished it into another version of the same Sketchware, but with pro features. So by the name Sketchware Pro. So this is it on the other side of the screen. This is the Sketchware Pro. It is similar to Sketchware, but has extra features that you can use to do your app in a better and efficient way. So let's look at how you can install the app. So let's quickly open Chrome here, and then search for Sketchware Pro. Just type Sketchware Pro. Sketchware Pro. Then open this one. From there, now you're able to see you can use this link. Then from here, you'll see the app where you can just tap on the download button and install. So I'm not going to go through the process because I already have the app in my phone. So let's dive back. So right now we are going to open the Sketchware Pro app. Tap on the icon. So it's loading. Yeah, so these are sample projects. Once you open the app, you're going to see a screen where you have projects that you recently created. All your projects are found here. These are my projects that I've created. Yeah, so we're going to create a new app by tapping on the plus button right down here at the bottom right of the screen. Then in this field, enter the name of the app that you want to create. So we are going to create a calculator. So let me see, I'm going to put the name as DG. You can put whatever name you want to put. Digital. I'm going to give it 2 because I already have Digital, but I'm going to create the second version. And choose the icon that you are going to use. Choose from gallery. Let's choose this one here. Yeah, kind of like that one. I like this one. So we use this icon. So you preview the icon here, then tap on create. So it's going to open this screen. This is the place where you design the view of the app. So we're not going to take a lot of time, but we just look at how it works. This is a preview of what the app looks like. These are the different layouts and widgets, all the widgets that you can put on your screen and where the users are going to interact with. That's for the front end. So here we have the event tab. We are not going to go to all in all that in detail right now, but these are the different sections that you have in the app that we are going to use. Let's just go straight to what we want to do. So what we want to do is we are going to create a layout. Let's add a linear layout to the screen. As soon as you add the linear layout, this is going to pop up at the bottom. This is where you can specify the properties of that particular widget that you added to your screen. So the first thing that we'll do, we are going to modify the width by tapping on the width button and then changing it to match parents. Match parents means it's going to increase the width to be the size of what it is in. It is on the screen of the phone, so it's going to always be the size of the screen. So match parent does it. Wrap content here means it's going to have the size of the content that is inside the layout. So we are going to use match parents. This one here is to specify the dimension by yourself by just typing in the figure, and you're going to create the specify that particular dimension. But we are going to match it to parents. Then we select. So it's there. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to add another linear. We are going to add a horizontal linear layout into the screen, and then there we choose the previous linear layout on the screen. We choose the previous one, the other bigger one. This is the small one, this is the big one, and then we change the gravity. Tap on the gravity button, tap on bottom, and bam, all the widgets that are inside the layout are going to fall to the bottom. They're going to be aligned to the bottom. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to put buttons into this small layout that we created, the horizontal linear layout that we created. So this is a vertical linear layout, and this is a horizontal one. What it means is that when you put widgets into it, anything you put into it is going to be So let's add some buttons. Yeah, just wanted to show you something there, but it was kind of. So this is the button. Button is where you add a button to the screen, to the layout. Place it there. You're going to add 4 buttons. Just drag and drop. Drag and drop. Yeah, so that's how you add widgets to your screen. Just drag it and drop it on the screen wherever you want to put it. As simple as that. So from here now, if you look at the buttons very well, you will see that these buttons are kind of bigger than this last button. That's because the buttons are just trying to maintain their size, while the last button has to just understand that this is a small space that is left, let me use it. So to make them all to have the same size, you're going to tap on the button, go to the width, go to the properties tab, choose width, and then put the width to 1, and do same for all the buttons. Do the same thing for all the buttons. What this weight basically does is that it's going to tell the buttons that this is the available space you have. Share the space among you equally. Share the space equally among you. So that's what has happened now to the buttons. So we will tap on the first button here. Since we are creating the calculator app, we are going to make the text to be the plus. So this one will be the plus. This will be the plus, the minus, multiplication, and division button. So let's start with the first one. Tap on the first button, scroll to the right of your property tab in the basic property tab, and choose text. Change the text to want it to just be an addition sign. Save. Do for the next one, put a subtraction sign there and save. So we are going to add an X since there is like no multiplication sign that we can use here. We are just going to, okay, this is multiplication, cool. So we tap on the last button and add the division sign, division button. So this is division. Great. So look at it very well. You see that the icons are, the buttons are big, but what is inside the button is very small. The icons are very small inside the button, so we are going to increase that. So we tap on the button, click on text size and increase it to something like 20. Yeah, it's pretty big now. Tap on it and do the same for all. Text size, change it to 20 sp. Change all the text sizes to 20 sp. So that's way much better now than before. So the next step that we are going to do is we are going to add another horizontal linear layout to the screen, and here we are going to add a widget. In this one, we are going to put the text view. This is where we are going to see our answers. We add another small button there. A small button now. We are going to put some text inside. The text should be C. This is going to be to cancel. As soon as we are done with the calculations, we just press the cancel button and everything is cancelled. So right C there. You can put anything you want to put. You can put an icon, but I'm going to choose C. For the width, I'm going to specify the width to be 50 dp. 50 dp. So you see, it's kind of like almost the same. So we specify the height to something like 50 dp. So it has the same length and width. Then I increase the size of the text inside to like 18. Yeah, so it's pretty big now. For the text view, I'm going to increase the size to something like, tap on text size and increase it to like 20. I'm sure that's good. So you see, I want these widgets here to be aligned towards the right here. So I'll click on the layout in which they are found. I'll scroll to gravity and choose right. That's perfect. Now I'm going to add another linear layout to the screen, horizontal linear layouts. This is where my equations are going to fall. So I'll add another widget inside the linear layout. This is where you put the two values you want to carry out the operations on. So we are going to choose edit text and add another edit text to the screen, and then we're going to add a text view in between. This one is going to show the current operation that is taking place in the system. So for that, we are going to increase this first edit text and change the width to 1. The next one, and then do the same thing for the other edit text widget that we added and increase the width to 1. So that's it. It's going to centralize the text view. So for the text view, I'm going to change the text to, you can change it to whatever you want, but I'll choose to use this vertical bar here, and then I increase the size to something like, increase the size to something like 22. Now let's say 18. We're going to use 18. So that's basically the setup, how they're going to look like. So let's start putting the logic. So this is the front end. That's the user interface, where the user is going to be interacting with the system, with the app. Let's just run it now and see what it looks like. So to save it, you first tap on this save icon here, and then click on the run button. So it's compiling the code. How cool is that? It's going to compile the code into an application. So meanwhile it's compiling, you see there are some question and answers here. So it says you can edit the image. So my phone is already done. So from here now, you just install the app. And so installing, then open. Bam, this is the app. So you can just start typing and you have your text entered into it. Basically it does nothing now because we haven't added any backend to it. So these are the buttons, and look at the animation that they produce after you tap on it. The animation is very cool. So let's move on. So what I immediately want to do here is want to increase the size of the edit text, the text size, to something like 18, and the second one, do the same thing for the other one, something like 18 sp. Oh yeah. From there now, I'm going to change the hint text. The text you see inside I want to change it. That's a hint text. So to change that, let's scroll scrolling to the right until when this see all icon appears, then can click on it. From there, change the hint text here to, let's say I want to put first number. All right, first number. Then do the same thing for the second one. See, it has immediately changed it. Then here do the same thing here. Change the hint text to second number. Second number. There you have it. So let's run and see what it looks like. But let's not run now. Let's first do one or two things before we run. So when I run the app, this text view is going to have some text written as text view, and I don't want that. What I want it to be is I want it to start with 0, because that's how calculators are. It starts with 0, so you can start typing some text and then doing the operation. So what we do is that we go to the event tab. Events are simply just like, it's the interaction. That's the backend. That's the interaction between the user and the app. We have the user interface and we have the logic that's going on in the background. So on the activity tab in the events page, we have the on create activity, which is simply just a series of instructions. As soon as you open the app, the series of instructions that can be executed. So tap on it. Sorry, my phone is slowing a little bit. That's because I'm recording. So look at the way it looks like once you open the editor where you are going to put the code. It's not coding. You're not going to write any source of code, any code. You're going to type. You're going to be dragging and dropping the blocks of code. So we click on the button down here, the codes, and you're going to see this is how the codes look like. So this is like a small menu for the different codes that are going to be appearing here. So for example, these are variables. You click on list and you're going to see the different list codes that you can use for list. Sorry. So what we are going to be doing is that we want to change the view. Go to view, scroll right down to where you find set text, and then click on text view. Choose what you want to set the text to. So we choose text view and select. Let's see which text view is that. Let's use the first one. I'm pretty much sure it's the first one because we have two different text views. Select and put the text to, set the text to 0. So let's move back and see what it looks like. Before we run the app, this is one thing that's very important. It's good to name your widgets in your screen to avoid some certain type of errors. So let's just rapidly name them. We tap on, let's change this text view. Let's change the name, rename it. So we click on the see all button and then ID. We change the ID. So that's where our answers are going to be. So we write answer. So whenever we see the text view, the ID is now going to be answer. It's going to facilitate the work for us. So let's go back. Let's change the ID of this one, of this button to the add button. Add button. So you cannot add some space in between. That's how it is. You can only use letters A to Z, numbers and special characters. You cannot put space in between the name of your ID. So you can add an underscore and say BTN. I'm going to use BTN instead of typing button. So from there, I'll rename the second one. Sorry, it's kind of raining outside, so we are in the rainy season and it's kind of raining too much here, but yeah, we move. So from there we change the other one to, this is the multiplication button, mul BTN. multiplication button. The last one is the division button. So we're going to change the ID to div btn. We save it. So yeah, it's going to facilitate the usage of these different widgets. Let's change this one to first number. FRST NM NUM. I'm going to use NUM. Let's change the second edit text, the ID, to second number. Second number. Yeah, so from there now it's going to facilitate. Which other widget are we left with? We are left with the C. This is the clear button, so we are going to use clear. We're going to give it the name clear, CLR. So let's run the app and see what it looks like. Before that, don't forget to always save your work, then run it. Then install the app. We open it, and there you go. So look at it. This text now is 0, but when we were designing it was text view, but here is 0 because the program recognized that we just launched the app, and of course it's going to change the text to 0 as is specified in the instructions. So let's get back to our code. So now let's start implementing the buttons, these different operation buttons down here. So we click on the plus button. We want to add instructions for a particular widget on the screen, an event. We tap on the widget and then come to the event tab. We have the recent tab, which simply comprises of the different properties that the recent properties that you have used. So you're going to see the recent properties here, those that I've used. Then we have the event tab, where you have either on long click or on click events. So we are going to be doing by you're going to create an event for the on click. This means that these are the batch of instructions that will be executed as soon as you click on the button. As simple as that. No code, nothing. We are just going to drag and drop blocks of instructions. So what do we want to have? What do you want? Let's explain it here, please. This is the app. I want that as soon as I click on the plus button, the sum of whatever is here and here should appear here. Hello? So let's go get it. So you go to view. Scroll right down to set text and choose text view, and then we add we set the text to what are we going to set in the text to some. But the issue about this is that it's not an issue actually, just something that we need to take note. This square only accepts strings, but numbers are circular. So we are going to convert it to number by using the to number block. As simple as that. You drag the to number block here. To number. Let's scroll down and see. This is where is that block? To string without decimal. You're going to use to string without decimal. If you use the to string with decimal, it's going to create a decimal point. It's going to display the number decimal point. Even if it's not decimal point, it's going to put a 0.00 behind, and I don't like that, so I'm going to put without decimal. So from here we are going to add we're going to get the text. Let's see. We're going to use the add function. This is the add function here. You put it inside. So after putting it, we are going to choose we are going to change this to number. We're going to use the convert the string to number using this block. Oh, sorry. The reason why we are using this one is because when we want to get the values of this first edit text and the second edit text, it will be in string and not numbers. So let's get the string from, let's look at how it looks like. It will be string because this is it. This is how we get the text using this block, the get text block. So you can specify what you want to get text from. You want to get text from the first number, yes, and then from the second number. So these are the two numbers you want to add. So we are going to use this add block to add these two numbers. So we cannot just drag the number and put in there because it is string and not a number. The system does not recognize it as a number, so we have to convert it into a number by using this particular block. So we drag it, put it inside this. Oh, what's happening? Put it inside this number block here. My goodness. Oh, sorry guys, that was because I actually confused a bit on the different blocks that we have here. This is the block we are supposed to use, the to number, and not this number block that I was trying to use. So let's delete that by dragging it up to the trash can at the top left hand corner of the screen. Then we place the to number. So you want to add the text from the first number and the text from the second number. The text from the second number. Let's delete this one, so we're not going to use this. So what we're going to do is that what we are going to do is that we are going to convert them first to numbers using this. So let's add another to number block, plug it inside here. So those are the two numbers you want to add. So we take them to put them in there, just drag and drop, drag the other one and drop it there, then drag the whole block now into the form of the code. Yeah, so there you have it. So it's going to take the text from this text edit from this first number and the text from the second number and add them, then convert them back to string before displaying them out on the answer. So let's see what that looks like. So save the work, click on run. Install the app. Then open it. So let me put you some text. Just going to type something like 2 4. Press the plus button. There we go. So this is the sum of these two numbers, and thus our code is working perfectly. So let's get back to work. So what we also want to happen is that we want to do some basic let's see what we need to do next. The next thing we have to also, let's do the same thing for all the other buttons. Let's do the other buttons. So this is how we are going to do it. Let's get back to where this code was to make the work simple. Let's get back to where our code is in the add button, and then do some small animation, because when you click on the add button, the answer just pops up, and don't know why it crashed there, but yeah. So we are going to add some small animation to the screen. Let's add some animation. So this is what we are going to do. Let's create a more block. Tap on create and give the block a name. Let's say animate answer. So this is the main aim of creating this is that we want to give some animation to the answer whenever we tap on any operation. So we are going to create a more block. Hope you saw how to create a more block. You're going to create a more block that you just tap on the more block, tap on create, and you're going to create the block will already be there. So this is it. So we are going to create a more block that contains a series of code that we can just whenever we use the more block, it's going to have that series of code. So let's put it here. Put it there for now. There's no instruction that's going to execute under the more block. So this is how we put some code under the more block. We go to the event tab, choose more blocks right down at the bottom here, and then tap on the answer, animate answer. So we go to the code. Whatever instruction that we put here and call the more block anywhere in the app is going to execute this series of instructions that we are going to put here. This is simply going to facilitate the work because we want the answer to be animated whenever they tap on that particular on any of the different operation buttons, the add button, subtract, multiplication, and division. So this is what we do. What we are going to do is that we are going to add a component. There's a component in Sketchway that helps us or facilitate the job for us for the animation. So we are going to tap on add components. There are so many components here that facilitate the job for you. You can put an intent, share preferences, calendar, vibrator, samples, and do whatever, even taking images with your camera. We're going to explore all this in depth when we are going to do the full tutorial. So now we are going to use the Object Animator component. So whenever you click on it, you give it a name, Object Animator. You can give it whatever name you want to give, but it should not contain space or any dashes in between. You're going to suppose you don't need single text. Then you can add. We're going to add the object to the component to our scene, to our screen. So the next thing we are going to do is that this is the steps that we are going to follow in order to animate that particular widget on our screen. We want the button to kind of pop up. So we want the answer to pop up as soon as we click on the any operation. This is what I mean. So let's start. We're first going to put the targets. First need to set the target and tell the object animator what you want to animate. We want to animate our answer. Next step, we set the property of that widget that we want to animate. We choose the object animator before choosing what we want to animate. We want to animate the scale, the x-axis. Now give the value by which we want to scale the widget. We want to scale it by 1.5. Or scale it by 1.3 for security. 1.3. This is just like multiply. You're going to multiply this by the size of that widget. It's not like setting the scale to 1.5. No, it's multiplying it by 1.5. That means 1.3. That means it's going to multiply it times 1.3, the size of that widget. So the widget is going to have the size of it times 1.3. Then now the next step is to give the duration of the animation. So I already tested it out and saw that 150 is perfect. This is the milliseconds. So that means that this is for this is 1 second. 1 second is 1000 milliseconds. So we want 150 milliseconds for our animation. Then the next thing is the repeat mode. The repeat mode. We need to give a mode for repeating the animation. We want it to be reversed. That means that when it does the animation, it's going to go back the way it came. It's not going to go and start back from the beginning and animate again. Go and start from the beginning and animate. No, it's going to reverse, forward, reverse, forward. So we want it to pop up and go back in smoothly. So after you set the interpolator of the object animator, the next step is to add the start block. never you forget to add a start block, because that's what is actually going to trigger the animation to run. So from there, let's rapidly go and test what actually happens when you click on the add button. So we first save. Sorry, let me do something please. So don't forget to save the app, the project, then click on the run button to run. So it's going to compile the code for you to see the result of the compilation. So this is where it's compiling, showing that Java is running and executing stuff like that. Then install the app. So it's installing. We open the app. So when I enter some values in the first edit text and another one in the second edit text, then I click the plus sign, bam, you see it's animating. See the way, look at the way the answer is animating. It's stretching out a little bit on the x-axis. So we want this same effect for x and y. So let's run back to the app, click on the back button, let's go back, open the block, the animate answer block, add another component to our project. We're going to add another component. We're going to add another object animator component. Let's give this object y. Yeah, you can give it any name, no problem. Let's just say y, something, oy, something like that. And click on the add button. So we added a new object animator. So now we are going to start again like before. Set a target under this one. Set target. So but this time around we are going to use the object animator y, oy. So we are using two object animators because we want to animate two properties at the same time simultaneously, which means meanwhile the first object animator is running, this one is also going to be running. You get the point? You cannot use one twice. You cannot use one at the same time, two times at the same time. So you can use one, after using the one you use it again, but we are going to use two so that you can run at the same time simultaneously. OA is going to is going to be stretching or animating the widget on the x-axis, while OY is going to be animating on the y-axis. That's the concept. So after setting the target, object animator OY, and the target to be answer, text view answer, we are going to now set the property that we want to animate. Choose the object animator OY. Then the property we want to animate this time around is a scale Y. But since we want to do something similar to this, the same thing, instead of adding the blocks again over and over, let's just remove the two blocks we just added last, and then we drag all these blocks, move on to copy, and bam, it's going to duplicate them. So we just drag it back and put it under. So we duplicated all those blocks twice. Then we just go in there and change by the object animator that we want to use. The object animator we want to use OY. So we change OY for all the second block that we just added, the second set of blocks. Then let's not forget to change the property to scale Y this time around. Then I think that's all we have to do as modification. Yeah, so let's go back, save the project, and run the code. Install the app. And open it. So let's look at what happens to let's enter some sample data in the edit text. As soon as I click on the plus button, look at what happens to the answer text view. So it's animating on the x and the y axis at the same time, which means it's increasing the size on the x and on the y at the same time. So let's move back. So the beauty about this mod block, like I said earlier, is that you can use this set of code multiple times instead of you having to write all this code wherever you want to call, because you're going to be calling this same code from all these 4 buttons that we have. Oh, sorry, let's go back to the app. we are going to call it, we are going to be calling this particular set of code from all those different buttons. For the add button, subtract, multiplication, and the divide button. So let's move back and move. So let's quickly implement that. So for the add button, click on the add button, open the event tab and choose on click. There you already have the animate answer set of animate answer more block. So this simply means that all those set of codes that you have there are going to run as soon as we have this one here. So we are using this one as a substitute for all those ones behind there. So let's go back and do same for all the other buttons. For this one, we are going to add, let's go back and copy the code from the add block, from the add button. So we click on the add button, open it. So we want to be using something similar like this in all the other 3 mathematical operation buttons that we have on our project. So the only difference will just be this sign in the middle here. Now we have with the plus, in the other one we have minus, multiplication and division respectively. So what do you change? What will you do to simplify the processes? We are going to drag all these 2 blocks, take it up to collections. Then we are going to give a name to what we want to save. Let's say we are going to give it a name operations, and save it. So what has happened is that I can rapidly go back, choose the subtract button, open the on click icon, and then open my collections at the top right hand corner of the screen, and I'll be able to see what I just saved. So I'll drag it into my canvas, and bam, what I saved is already on the other side. So I just copy the code to the other side. So now this is the subtract button, as you can see from here. What we will do is we are going to remove this block, put it outside, and try to use something else. So this is just what we are going to change. We are going to change just this small piece, this small block. So we click on the block button, and choose operator. This time around subtraction. So we have the subtraction block there. Then we put this one in a position where we have to put it. Put the other one in the other position, and then drag. And then we drag all the block to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, something around there. So there you go. We just changed it to subtraction. So let's run and go and check the code. Let's see what happens. So now we save the project again and run the code. I don't know what you think about this, guys. This is crazy to be able to create an Android app, a full working Android app on your phone. This is a crazy idea. So let's just test it. Enter some sample data in our edit text and try the operation. Don't put string, please, just numbers. If you try any string, it's going to do something else, any letter. So let's click on the plus button. It gives the sum of this and this. Then let's click the subtract button. It gives the subtraction of this from this. So it's working. So let's do same for the multiplication and division buttons. So I'll just click on the multiplication button, tap on click. It opens where you have to put the instructions. Let's go back to our collections, drag the operations set of blocks that we saved, and then just change all of the operation that we have here. So this time around we are going to be using the operator. Let's go to operator. We are going to be using multiplication. This is multiplication with the star at the middle, at the center. So let's add the first number, the second number, then we put it in place. So let's do this one. So yeah, Let's do the same for the other, for the division button. Division button, click on it, click on unclick, choose our collections here, drag it into the scene, into the canvas, and then we change the operation. Remove this set of blocks, go to the blocks operator. This is a division block here, put it in place, and then feed these ones there. So yeah, it's going to divide the numbers now. So you can actually leave this one here, since it's hanging alone, it's going to disappear when you come back later on, so no need to delete it. It's going to delete by default. So we close, we go back, save the project, and run the code. So let's test all the different operations now. So let's see, 4 in the first button and 2. 4 plus 2 gives us 6. 4 minus 2 gives 2. 4 times 2 gives 8. 4 divided by 2, we have 2. So our buttons are working perfectly. So the issue that we want to tackle now is the issue of us having given the option to type text into the edit text buttons. It's going to create an error when we tap on the operation button now. So let's see. Yeah, that crashed the app. That crashed the app because the app is normally supposed to carry out an operation on integers, but we entered string into the edit text widgets. So to avoid that, let's specify the type of text that this edit text can take. Click on the edit text first number, go to basic, click on see all, then scroll down to text style. No, not this. Scroll down to input type, number signed, number decimal. Yeah, choose this one, number signed, number decimal. This means that when it will pop up the keyboard, it will give you the opportunity to input only numbers. You can input text. So we select, we do the same thing for the other one. Select the second numbers field, click on see all, and scroll right down to input type, change it to number signed, number decimal. I select confirm. So go back, save the code, and run it. So let's open the app, and when you click on the edit text, this is what you have, which means you will not have the opportunity or the ability to enter any string, only numbers. This is cool. So let's modify it again. Let's add some border around this edit text and run this one. So let's go back to the code. Since we are using Sketchware Pro, we have the ability to do this, but in Sketchware, to do this you have to use some custom code. You have to start writing codes and things like that, but Sketchware Pro gives us the opportunity to do this easily. So what we will do is that we are going to the event tab on create, which means that as soon as the app is going to run, this is what is going to open, and this is what is going to be executed in the background. So what we want is, we already have a block here that changes the answer to 0 as soon as you open the app. Then we are going to add some more. So let's go to view, click on view, scroll down until where you see border radius, set stroke, border radius, background color. We're not going to use that. Set stroke, border radius, background color, set corner radius, color. No, not that. Set corner radius, stroke color, background color. Let's see, what about what we use? Set stroke color, background color. I think this is better, so let's use this one. So which view are we going to do that? We are going to do that to the first number edit text. Set the stroke to 3. You can use whatever you want, but I'm going to choose 3. For the color of the stroke, we are going to give it black color. For the background color, we are going to make it white. There you go. So let's run the code. Let's do the same thing for the other one. So I will drag, instead of adding the block again, I'll just long press the block, drag it to the top where you have copy it, long press, drag it down and put it back in place, and just change the first number to second number, and you have the same effect that will be applied to both widgets. So you go back, save the project and run the code. So yeah, that's it. So what do you think of it? Yeah, that's what it looks like now. It's pretty awesome. I think I like the look. So let's go back. The border radius, let's see. There's no border radius. Oh, sorry, I really actually wanted to have a border radius. So let's change the block. Let's use something else. Go down, select a block that has a border radius, corner radius, color, corner radius, stroke color. So let's use this one. So we did the first two, the last two we just added, and add a corner radius. This other one, add the other block. So we start with the first number, select corner radius. Want to give it a radius of, say, let's say 5 for starter. The stroke, we are going to add a stroke of 3, stroke color black, background color white. So we go back. Oh, let's duplicate this block, put it under, change to second number, then we save the project and run the code. Yeah, so it's still having a border radius, but the border radius is too small. So let me increase the border radius, the corner radius. So increase it, corner radius to, let's say, 15, and the other one to 15 too. Save the project. So before we go to that, let's do more things before we go to it. Let's set what the clear button does. Now let's just run the code and see what the corner radius is. We identify the next problem and tackle it. That's how we solve problems. Solve one problem, we are done. Identify the next one and tackle it. As simple as that. Open the app, and there you go. So look at the border radius, is so cute. Okay, the next issue that we have is that these operation buttons, when we are adding or subtracting or doing whatsoever, we are going to get an answer. But if the edit text field where you enter the numbers is empty completely, or even one is empty, and you click on an operation, it's going to crash the app. Yeah, it's going to crash the app. So what we do is that we want to give the app to do the computation only when there are values inside the edit text widgets. So let's go to the button. Let's start with this, with the plus button. Go to the events, open and click. We want this code to be executed if and only if there is any value in the that has been entered by the user. So we open, we go to control, we're going to control something. So we say if if something, then this. So if nothing, then nothing. If that condition is false, it's not going to be executed. So you move to operators, to operator. So the instruction that we are going to be using here is let's quickly look at it again. So you want to test if the length of the edit text is greater than 0. This is guidance that you can use. The length of the edit text. Let's get the text from the edit text button, from the edit text widget. Edit text, get text. The length of the text in the edit text, if it is greater than 0 for the first number, if it is greater than 0, before this code will be able to run. So let's drag it up to the top, and pop, we have the instructions inside, which means that if the length is less than is not greater than 0, it will not execute this sort of code. As soon as you click on the button, you will first check if there's anything in the box. If the length is not greater than 0, it's not going to execute the code. As soon as we have something in the box, when you type in something, it's going to execute the code. So that's it. So let's run it and test and see before we implement on the other operator buttons, on the other operators. So let's try tapping on the plus button, and the app is still there. So we already executed, in as much as nothing is in these boxes, in these edit text boxes, nothing is going to happen. But if we tap on the other ones, since there's no if condition for this one, these ones are going to fall for the trouble. So let's tap and see, it crashed the app. So let's implement it for the others. Let's implement it for the other apps. So for the other buttons, let's click the minus button. Let's first go and copy it. Yeah, so let's copy it. What we'll do is remove it from here, take it to we have to make it binary. This one checks only for the first one. So let's put two conditions, this and that. There are two conditions, sorry, not just the first number but the second number too. This and so we copy this, copy this set of codes, drag it down, insert it there, change this to second number. We want to make sure that the first number and the second number, their lengths are greater than 0 before any code is executed, or else you have an error. So let's quickly do that. So let's save it. Let's give it a name, check operation, check up. So let's refuse feedback and go back. that code that we wrote there is already filled. We'll go back. Choose the next operator, the multiplication. Go to my collection, select the block I added. I save. Kind of getting freaked out. So collection, my collection, check up. Oh, sorry. Check up. And then I'm done. That's basically it. That's all. So we're gonna save it. Around the code. Install. So let's try all the buttons. Plus, the app is still running. Minus, the app is still running. Multiplication, the app is still running. Division. So the problem has been solved. Yeah, so the problem has been solved. Even when we enter text in one of them, the problem has been solved. So the next thing that we want to do is that when we want to implement the clear button, so what we do is we go back to the app and then click on the clear button, click on click, open on click, click on click, go to the blocks, choose view. We want to make sure that we set the text of edit text 1 first number to nothing. Yeah, to nothing, and set the text of the second number to nothing. Then we also set the text of our answer to 0. We save the code. We're almost done. So from here now we run it. Install. Then open the code. So let's say we want to add, let's say 4, we have 2. 4 plus 2 we have 6, 4 minus 2, 2, 4 times 2 we have 8, 4 divided by 2 we have 2. Click on the clear button and it's clear. So input some text, click on the clear button and everything is cleared back to 0. So basically I like the animation that is found on the answer that takes place on the answer. Look at how cool that is. So the next thing that we want to do is that the app is already ready and fully functional, but to really make it look personal, something you did by yourself. You may want to prank your friends, so like add your picture to the app. So this is what you can do to add your picture to the app. First thing you have to do is you have to click on these 3 dots at the top right hand corner of the screen, click image, and click on the plus button down here. Select the image by tapping on add image. You can use the app, choose the app you want to open, scroll right down until you see the image you want to use. I'll use this, my picture. So click on it, give it a name, change the name. So I just say IMG, whatever, can be any name you want to give it, and save. From there we go back to the app, click on the background, go to basic, scale it, reduce the height to something like to wrap text, wrap content. Then from there add a linear view to the screen, increase the width to match parents, drag the previous widget into gravity to the bottom, gravity bottom, and then from here now choose the other increase the width to something, the height something like 5. Increase the height to something like 450. Good. Now go to background resources, go to the right, click background resources, choose the image, and there you have the image. So let's run the app and see what it looks like. Yeah, so you can put your picture at the background of the app, the calculator, and then you have your answer. Go to get your answer and you can clear. So you can keep on editing until you are satisfied with the results. And now I'm going to add a small background color too. I tell you white background color and a black background color for the text, for the edit text. Let's choose something better. Background color, let's choose maybe white. White is better. The other one, choose. Then let's reduce, increase. Let's set the alpha. Alpha simply is the transparency of that particular widget. The alpha is 0.9 transparent. Make it transparent. You can set anything you need between 0 to 1. So decimal point value 0 point something, 0 point something to 1. So 0 point 0 point. I'm going to use 0 0.1, 0 0.1. Good. Install it. Bam, we are done with the app. So give me some data. You're going to give the sum down here, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So the clear button works. This is actually the end of the tutorial. This is how you can create your own calculator app in an Android phone. The app is actually installed in my phone, so you see I can close everything and I'll be able to see the app on my phone right here. This is the app, so I can share to my friends on Zender. And yeah, so let's open the app and see what it looks like. So that's the app. So I can use the app whenever I want to, and it's going to also show who I am. I'm an app developer, so you can see my pictures in the background. So that's it, guys. That's it for the tutorial. In the full course of the Digifluent Academy, you are going to see a lot more, and we are going to have a much more complex project than this one that we are going to run through. Definitely the video is supposed to be long because hey, this app development is not that easy as many people think it is, but we are going to try to make it as easy and simple as possible with clear defined steps. So just stay tuned and thanks for watching.